The 2024 Detroit Lions draft class is officially here. The day that we've been waiting for a couple months now is officially come and go just like that. And now it's time to wait for the preseason, that long stretch between the NFL draft and preseason. It's going to be a long wait, but man, I think we can all agree we are just dying for the season to start. This is the best team the Detroit Lions have ever had. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this year's draft class. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into every single player in this year's draft class, starting with round 1, pick 24, Tyan Arnold. Go ahead and make fun of me in the comments for this. I'm fine with it. I probably deserve it. But when we originally picked this guy, I was not the happiest. I thought that giving up a third rounder was to trade up 5 spots when there was still Kool-Aid and Wiggins on the board. I just thought was not the smartest. Now, when I look back at it, yeah, Brad Holmes trades up for a player. It's the right player. He's the right fit for our culture, the right fit for what we need, and I think he's got the highest ceiling in the draft, maybe outside of Quinyon Mitchell. But I do think that he's going to end up being a better overall player in day one, impacting Quinyon Mitchell. I think Mitchell needs to develop a little more. I think he's a little better than Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I think that he's continuing to get better. He's also going to flourish in our defense. He's going to be a lot better than any of those guys that we could have had. He's going to be way better, I think. Great pick by Brad, obviously. 63 tackles, 12 pass breakups, 6.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 5 interceptions on the season. He's a stat packer. 6 foot, 189, number 2 range corner, number 13 overall player. Comparisons: J.C. Horn and Jalen Johnson. He had a 4.5 40-yard dash, first team All-American. He's a great run stopper, very fluid hips and footwork, and he's very physical. With very good size. He can be a bit handsy at times, and he can also miss some tackles. But overall, an A pick from Brad Holmes. I think as long as he's better than Wiggins and Kool-Aid, I think it's an A pick. Now we go to round 2, Ennis Rakestraw. This was a bit of an unexpected one. I think that this was, and yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I think Arnold was an A pick, especially if he's better than those two guys. I think that was an A pick because, you know, he's the right player and fit for us. Ennis Rakestraw is another guy who I think is the right fit for us because you look at what he does, another great run stopper. Arnold and Rakestraw were the 2 best run stopping corners in the draft. You know that's what Brad likes to do. He's also a very good coverage guy. Now, there's some things that he could get better at, obviously, but you look at him. He had 8 starts in 2023. He had a couple missed games due to injury with 35 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups, a forced fumble. He ran a 4.51 40-yard dash. He's 5'11", 183 pounds. Like I said, great run defender. He's got great toughness and physicality. He's got great body control, and he's very good at jamming. He can be a bit handsy at times as well, and he needs to turn his head earlier when he's in coverage. It was a bit unexpected to take a corner, 2 back-to-back, but when you had, one of the weakest secondaries the past 5 years, you got your 2 guys for the future now. Another A pick, and the fact that he fell there was crazy. Round 4, pick 126. Bit of a shocker here. I wasn't expecting this. Giovanni Manu out of British Columbia. This was a bit of a shocker. I think when we originally picked this guy, I was kind of like, what are we doing, Brad? Looking back at it, you got maybe one of the biggest boom bust players in the draft, and with our O-line coach, what our O-line coach has done for this team, I've got high hopes for this guy. 6'8", by the way. He's 6'8" and 350 pounds. I mean, holy crap. He's got insane athleticism. You watch him, his athleticism for that size is just out of this world. His combine and pro day, all that was insane. Insane athleticism for size. He's got great knee bend, and he's solid in pass protection, and obviously good at run blocking as well. And he also has very explosive hips, and he's very strong. And some weaknesses is that he can get he needs a little bit better stance, and he's also having a major competition jump. Like going from British Columbia to the NFL, you're going to be playing against guys, like Danielle Hunter. This is going to be a different place for him, and he's going to have to develop. He's not going to start year 1. That's why we took him. But by year 2, year 3, I could see this guy being our future starter. He looks like an absolute monster. I love this pick. A pick. Round 4, pick 132. Son Vaki out of Utah, and I was pretty familiar with this guy. I hadn't really watched him or anything much. But definitely a guy that I was very excited about when I saw we drafted him. Coming in at 5'11", 210 pounds. He ran a 4.62 40. Not the fastest, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns, 500 total yards, 500 plus total yards. He had 8.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, interception, 2 pass breakups, and as well as 51 tackles. Yeah, we just got ourselves a Swiss Army knife. Like, holy crap! You can throw him in at running back, do some wildcats with him. You can throw him in at receiver. You can throw him. I mean, he'd be a good receiver. He's very good at cutting. You can throw him in on defense at safety. You can put him at slot corner. I mean, his coverage skills aren't the best. He's getting better at them. That's what he's been working on. He's been getting a lot better at that. But he is just so versatile. Most versatile player in college football. He is an amazing tackler with a nose for the ball. And he also is very strong in physical in the run defense. He's a bit better. He needs to be better in man coverage a little bit. He needs better backpedaling as well, and that will help with that man coverage. So overall, pick I was very happy with. Maybe he wasn't the best safety. He's a safety running back hybrid. Maybe he wasn't the best player in the draft, but getting him there I thought was a very good pick. And I think it was a bit of a steal as well. I think we got ourselves a Swiss Army knife. And now you have Mkai Wingo at 6'1", 284 pounds, who ran a 4.85 40-yard dash, the fastest among all defensive linemen. Obviously, like interior defensive lineman. This guy played D-tackle at LSU and had quite a career. He was ranked as the number 108 overall prospect in this year's draft, projected to be a mid to late third round pick, I believe. He ended up falling to us mid-6th round. Insane pick by Brad Holmes. This is one of my favorite picks, easily. Insane pick here. I'm pretty familiar with him. Like I said, 6'1", 284, 4.85 40-yard dash. He had 7 starts this past year, missed a few with a lower body injury. 5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 25 tackles. And he had 8.5 sacks in 3 years at LSU, including 4.5 this year. He can play D tackle or D edge. You can throw him anywhere in the defensive line. He'll play it, which is just awesome. So versatile. His quickness beats blockers, and he's got great bend athleticism. He's a bit undersized, but he is Aaron Donald size, and the bigger lineman can stop him at times. Overall, insane steal. And now our last pick of the draft, Christian Mahagany, I believe is how you say his name, and another great pick, another great depth piece, another guy that I could easily see starting for us, given maybe I don't know, like a year or two. Like we know that guys like Graham Glasgow are getting older, and obviously guys like Vaitai are gone now. Jonah Jackson's gone now. We have Zeitler on a 1-year deal. You're gonna need a guard for your future. This guy can easily be that first team All ACC this past year. 314 pounds, 5'13", 40-yard dash, 6'3", 314 pounds. I might have said that already, but he's also some strengths for him is that he is an insane pulling guard. He's got great upper body strength, and he also got a great overall use of his hands, and he can also improve his balance a little bit. He's also not the quickest guy. Not that important though. We're more worried about his impact on the field. His impact on the field is that he is a absolute dog. I think this is an absolute steal from Brad, and I think that getting him really just gets that extra depth for your O-line, because you get injuries in the O-line all the time, and we know O-line is our most important position. Getting him at this spot I thought was pretty crazy. I thought he'd go 4th, 5th round, and I think you for sure got yourself a possible starting guard in the future. Worst comes to worst, he's one of your best backups. Same goes for obviously Giovanni Manu. He can be one of your best backups at worst, and potential future starter, maybe in Hall of Famer with how good, how high his ceiling is. Overall, now if this was a mock draft I was looking at, would I love it? Probably not. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of Tyrion because I wasn't as familiar with him, because I didn't think we'd get him. Now looking back, he's a dog. Glad we got him. Getting 2 corners in the first 2 picks, I probably would have been like, I think we could go D end, or maybe like wide receiver 2nd round instead. I think we're just fine with the wide receivers we have, and we got some good ones in undrafted free agency. DPJ is exactly what we need anyway. He's going to be wide receiver 3. He would have been either way. We can always get one next year. Overall, I'm going to give this draft an A. Brad Holmes did his thing. I'm going to trust everything that he believes in. Looking at his picks, you can go through exactly why he made each of those picks. I'm going to give it an A. Let me know down in the comments what you would give Brad, what player is your favorite from this draft, and who you had the highest hopes for. Let me know what you thought of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Peace.